Gaby. Such a lovely moment. So beautiful to have you on my show, Moments with Masters. My sacred sister. Welcome.
What a joy, what a privilege to be in your presence here and now, sacred brother. What a joy, what a delight. Thank you for having me here.
It's an honor. It's an honor to have you on my show, Gaby. I've been very, very, very eagerly waiting for this amazing moment. Love to have you on my show.
Thank you.
Gaby, before we even have this conversation, I would want to introduce you to my audience, to my viewers, and here's a little introduction about you to all my viewers. She is the lightning of hope. She's committed to help advance humanity's consciousness through deepening and elevating self-awareness work to expand our state of being. She's a spiritual coach, visionary, and author. She is a #1 international best-selling author of the book Women Who Lead. She has helped over 8,000 people transforming their lives for over 20 years. She has been featured in the Business Innovators magazine, Spotlight magazine, NBS, CBS, Fox, and the TED platforms. She has been interviewed on multiple high-profile podcasts, sharing her signature message on self-awareness and spirituality. She especially loves helping magnificent women visionaries reignite them into their own sense of oneness and wholeness for a prosperous and joyful life. It is her greatest joy to see extraordinary women expand their states of being to create the most extraordinary lives for themselves and their families. She lives in California with her beloved husband, Mark, and she loves reading, playing, and being in nature. And she is this magnificent lady who we have today on as a guest on our show, Moments with Master Gaby Puma.
Wow, what a delight. What a delight. Thank you so much, brother, for seeing me and for acknowledging and for our beautiful sisters and brothers all across our beautiful world.
Gaby, I would love to learn a lot about your journey with this intimacy, with presence, with beingness. How did it start? What happened? And what made you fall in love with beingness?
Mm. Oh, thank you. Being in love, falling in love with life itself, with life. I am so blessed, and I was so blessed to my roots, my origin of ancient and indigenous people up in the mountains in a small village in Peru. And we are very fast in touch with the reality of life and immersed in nature, immersed with our families, immersed with life, so in touch with the best of life. And at the age of around 6 or 7, I've discovered, out of curiosity and fascination of this marvelous beings visiting travelers to our ancient site of my hometown. And I've been in sacred dialogues with all of these people from all over the world. And this curiosity of mine hasn't stopped until this very moment. And sharing, being with somebody else, with another life form, be it magnificent human beings or plants or animals or the water or literal being. And here I am now after 33 years of that journey, and ever more simplifying this experience of life, that there is nothing else, nowhere else I'd rather be in this moment with you, Brother Ranjan. For us to be present, for us to allow what comes through us when we play with this idea and possibility, to be present, to bring our whole self here and now.
Gaby, what do you think generally then distracts us from this present moment awareness? Is it just ignorance? Is it not being intentional about it? Is it what keeps us, or most of us, not get into the experiential awareness of the present moment?
Beautiful. What I feel, in a very simple manner as a possibility in my lineage, in my indigenous upbringing, the belief, the way of ancient beings, is this idea that we came from the eternal sun, from the sun, and we each are the golden seeds for this era or for this time right now. And it's a journey. When we come to this reality, of distortion, separation, fragmentation, darkness, shadow, and light, and all of the fullness of the reality. And it's quite a journey for each one of us in our unique manners to travel around in life and immersed in all the beauty of life. And eventually, if you're open enough to wake up or become even more aware, the beauty is that you have been aware all along the way, and you start remembering your original nature, your state of being, that becoming the eternal sun and the golden seed as a possibility together with all of us, and accepting, allowing life to its totality. All of the experiences that eventually it is your choice, one's decision to either be in misery and suffering an idea, a past, a memory, or choosing to embrace it all and be here and create your sense of joy, your sense of happiness. And more so for me, there is nothing more important than my inner peace, my happiness, and my state of being in the every now moment, because I've suffered enough in the past that even my health condition started getting compromised. And I deliberately journeyed, and now, because it's always now I choose deliberately to be in the here and now, to meet life in its totality.
Gaby, when you talk about suffering and your transition to the present moment awareness, what led you to choose deliberate awareness of your beingness in the moment.
What I now encounter is that the state of being, it's all there is. Our state of being, awareness, consciousness, love, God, higher power, it's all there is. And it was always there. And I have this sense of belief and idea that we did unconsciously choose or choosing the path we were going to walk in this lifetime. And I very firstly choosing to walk this path as an Indigenous woman from Indigenous origins and background. And I've seen that all the extremes of our human nature, of what makes us human, all the suffering, all of the memory, all the ancestral baggage that we came here to clear. And I'm so blessed that it took only 33 years to realize, as I give power, as I speak, I become very aware to create in this moment, not giving the power to the past for what has been, because that already is being enough all around our world, creating and perpetuating more of that. And I now deliberately choose to see from these eyes, from love, from forgiveness, from acceptance, what has been. And that opens the door for me to sit with anybody from any walk of life, because I've walked it myself, I've experienced it myself, I lived myself through such experiences.
Gaby, then how do you deal with the past? Well, I'm coming to that experience, but how does one deal with the past of trauma, of illness, even when you wake up to the fact that now is the only moment when you exist? What do you do with that past? How do you forgive? And I'm coming to this, your journey of radical forgiveness.
So I feel we each, and I honor we each are in our unique journeys. And I feel the opening comes in its own time. And I feel in this very moment, if I were to ask you in this moment, right this moment, Ranjan, are you being in trauma right now, like this very second? Are you?
So there is a part of me that is I feel the loss of, I miss my mom. I feel the loss. I, although there are moments I feel I am connected to her each moment now, but she is here around me always. At the same time, it brings tears to my eyes. Missing her so much.
May I invite you to take, or may I invite us to take a couple deep breaths. love you, brother.
Love you, sister.
Mm. Mm. I'm so proud of your openness and willingness to be with that sense of feeling of grief, of pain, and our willingness to be and allow. Mm.
Maybe when love is the only thing that's everywhere, and love is the only thing that creates miracles, and love is the only thing that we need to wake up to. What keeps us from being love in each moment? What stops us?
Now
There is
I'm going to
the
start crying. Oh, such a powerful, beautiful, and forgive me, brother, for cutting you off there. I feel you demonstrated in this moment that power of love, your openness, the idea that mama is unconditional love, that idea that we yearn that unconditional love outside of us, that somewhere someone ought to give it to us. And of course, mama and papa has gifted us the sacred life. It's pure unconditional love. And this sense of that we lost that unconditional love that we know in our genes, in our body, in our being. We know that. And that idea, and which is the natural cycle of life, when it's part of life, and for you to be this, I feel there are all these forms of love. This idea of suffering, it's the most beautiful way of love. Pain is the absolute most beautiful way of love, because love hasn't disappeared. It's present, it's there, it's you. It's ever present as Mother Earth, the same earth that is holding us in this moment is love. The same sun that is shining on us all is love, this idea of love that they're ever present. And when suffering or adversity or grief is happening, love is always there, and love is that as well. For each one of us, our openness to see it as such, to accept as such, to remember our capacity to love because it's our nature. I feel, and whenever I have these dialogues with my mama, everything we have endured, so like all of that has taught us to love, and we have these gigantic hearts now that our capacity to love is infinite
My experience, Gaby, since I started, I started my experiential awareness of being. This very evening, I was talking to my kids, and uh, there's so much happening, and uh, unfortunately, my son broke his left arm just a few days ago, and I was, and I'm handling all this thing, and as a single parent, and I was just reflecting, and it just popped up in my mind that every situation, every person, everything around you is making space for you to be in that. Every situation, each phase of pain is actually an invitation to be more of who you truly are. And in that one moment of choice is where the truth exists. And that that simple yet powerful choice makes the whole difference of who you be in the moment and how you create, what you experience as a feeling, as an experience in that moment. And that has been making my life so lovely, so love filled. And in spite of a few moments here and there, but still, it's the beauty has almost become infinity. It's
Mm.
such a beautiful life now. Even pain is so beautiful, as you said. You know, it has transformed life inside out. But I would want to know how this awareness influence your life.
Mm. Thank you for sharing. What's the name of your son?
Ishan.
Thank you for sharing about Ishan. That sense of openness to receive all of life. Life is happening, and each one of us are in our own fascination of experiencing and adventure and curiosity, and accidents happen, things happen, and our ability to not want it to be that way and being rigid. Rightly so, it happens. You can be rigid and upset and pain and all of that. Yet, with this commitment of you to align back with life, because life is happening, the river is always running, no matter what. And that's where our ancient spirituality and our uh, life is always happening. Like the wind, it's always blowing. It's us who are getting on the way of holding on to whatever happens, because in reality, it's so beautiful that life has provided us all the ability and capacity to ask for help, to be loved, to forgive, to let it go. And it's always available for us. It's always available for us. All the beauty, all the blessings, all the miracles, all of life, it's here. And it's this sense every morning, like today, Ranjan, how does it affect my life, honoring the question here? It's a blessing and a miracle that I woke up this morning. that it woke me up, that life woke me up, because it could have easily not been the case, as it did for many millions in our world. It comes back to that simplicity, mundane, that we take it for granted, that it woke me up. What a joy that it woke me up. What a joy to tell, to express, to self-express, to self-create my loved ones, my beloved husband, my family back home in Peru, to say, I love you, Mama, Papa. I love you. I love you, life, God, source, spirit. You, wow, look at this tapestry you have created for me. And I'm here to serve my sisters and brothers, to put a smile into their face, because I know what they could be encountering in life. And that has become now the reality I choose in every moment. And when bitterness, when upset, when what might you comes along, I be with it. I sit, I cry, I dance, I laugh. I sit with that. If forgiveness is needed, forgive, I let go, I drop that weight. And we continue. We have every moment to create, moment by moment, moment by moment. And I feel so grateful looking back to what has been my experience. You're like, wow, I'm here now. Wow, because it could easily not be the case when this and that and that and that happen, especially when difficult moments could appear, to gain perspective and contrast. The majority of times now, I meet life with such a blessing, with such an extension of miracles, and I be with life.
You be off late, I experienced that. As you said, every moment when we're conscious of this life it's the only thing that we need to appreciate, because it's the only moment when you're here. It's the only moment when life is here for you. And probably this one simple truth, it's a blessing to be aware of this. It's a blessing to know it firsthand. It's a blessing to experience it. And so magical when you know that each one of us is born with this capacity to self-create. Not only yourself, but everybody. Acknowledging who they're being in the moment. Acknowledging who you are being in the moment. And this beautiful way of self-creating this whole life. Well, that's the only magic that's happening. Whether we like it or not, whether we appreciate it or not, that's the only way life happens. And it's an honor that we are having this sacred conversation around beingness.
Beautiful. Either you want it or not want it, this is all we have at this moment. And we may as well create that beauty, that the sense that somewhere that we are going to create, or when I die, or what might you, it 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 comes in this moment. You go like, I want to say everything that I gotta say right now to whoever I gotta say right now, coming from this sense of appreciation, of love, of life, of my breathing that is being blessed every moment by embracing it all. And then that is going to lead to my action taking from this space. Because during the day, calls happen, meetings happen, this happened, that happened. Before you know, you get caught up. And in that moment, you're choosing, everybody is meeting life. Everybody is a sacred being because it's sacred life. Life is so sacred, so sacred, so miraculous. So each being who is experiencing the sacred life through them, seeing them as such, no matter what. And it's that creation, that self-creation, for seeing always the sacred life in everything we touch and we encounter, that is open for us always. Always, 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 always.
That's very true, baby. Very true. It took me years to accept that it was probably I unconsciously choosing not to receive love, which was there, which was available. Even now, there are moments when I become aware of it, that it's me who's not receiving it. It's me who am closed. But if I'm just open enough to receive this love into my heart, and if I be that way, probably I'm already swimming in this ocean of love. And there's not even a spot, a place where it isn't. There's nowhere it isn't. It's present here and now in everyone and everything that's happening. And whole life, half the life just went by looking for it in something else or expecting it through someone else, depriving ourselves the opportunity of creating it and being the source of it and being the channel of it. And even few moments of that awareness helps you connect with that source. And then you know that this is who I am and this is who I need to be.
Oh.
And the doing that emerges out of this being. It's just like a flow. It just happens. Well, even if it's business, even if it's your job, even if it's professional, we just need to let it happen from that place of beingness. Gaby, what led you to be this part of this book? And what's the message that you wanted to share with the world through the book, Women Who Lead?
Thank you so much. I would love to appreciate the openness, the awareness, the willingness to be present to be with all that is, and from that space create, from that space create for you, for your community, business, life, all of it. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. And as of on your question about the book, quite a honor to express self about forgiveness, as I feel is so important, no matter from my experience serving impactful, powerful women around the world and men as well. And this sense of not letting go easily what has been life up until this moment. And it comes to the commonness of humanity, of our whole human beingness, that difficulty of letting go, of dropping that weight on you. And it has been my own journey of forgiving, like very firstly. And when the opportunity came for the book, I said, that's the only thing I would love to write about. That's the only thing I would love to share about. It is the deep pathway for me to be going back to love, back to home, back to who we truly are. And it's a way of being. When you are not in love, you are in fear. And the two only realities, as far as I know and I'm aware of, is love or fear. And when I am not being and creating love, then I'm in the what is not love. And forgiveness is my vehicle to get to be. And it is quite an honor. From the moment I have created what is in the beautiful book, in this beautiful project, a lot has evolved, let's say, to this moment. Yet this sense, this idea of letting go, giving it back as an offering, as a ceremony to Mother Earth. So it clears, it renews the energy. That's what comes in this moment.
The first time I came to know about forgiveness was when I came to know about this meditation, Ho'oponopono.
Mm.
And I was like, this is weird. Why would I seek forgiveness for somebody's suffering? And that was years ago. And then when I practiced it, when I started, exploring this experience of forgiveness, and then I found it's sometimes it's very easy to forgive everybody else but self. And it's like, why are we being so harsh upon ourselves? We're so easy with others, like, okay, I can forgive even my enemy, but I can't forgive me, my own self. I had moments when I used to think about it, why and how is it possible? And of course, yes, forgiving self and letting go of that burden is like the most beautiful cleansing that probably makes the path for divinity to flow through you. It's like becoming that eternal hose of love. And as you said, it turns our vehicle to loving, to self-loving, and self-creating the loving being. It's such a beautiful experience. And probably if this one message could make sense, if this one message could be spread across, if we can help people, if we can help people accept and understand and be open to this possibility of forgiving self, forgiving the past, probably that's the only thing that is required, which could replace all hundreds of practices. And probably the only, I wouldn't even want to call it a tool, because it's something that we are born with. And probably somewhere we just unconsciously got clogged, and we stopped, probably we started accepting the blockages, and we forgot our true nature of being love.
Powerful. I so appreciate you bringing it as of radical self-forgiveness, as we each are in this journey of understanding and deepening our awareness about self. When we refer as self, what exactly are we dialoguing about here? Self as of myself, self as of that distinction that, as you are expressing, that came through me. For self, for me, is the totality of what is self, love, source. It's all similar. So as of self-forgiveness is all there is. And this understanding in our own way, in our own time, because we still want to suffer a little bit more, just in case. And we come into that understanding of self, that all there is in this beautiful world of ours, in this existence, is self. So when we are self-forgiving, when we are self-loving, we are returning to our true nature, our elevated self, which is our divine beingness in this human experience. And radical self-forgiveness, when you're forgiving self, you already are forgiving everybody else as well. So you being in self-forgiveness, you are forgiving all. The reason why it seems other way around, that you're forgiving else things, and mom, dad, the cousin, the enemy, that sense of separation, that sense of fragmentation, it's the natural journey into that understanding in your own time that all there ever will exist, has ever existed, self. So it's always self-forgiveness. Whenever you are seeking, asking, or creating that, you are releasing that energy, and you're coming back to your true nature, to your self-love, to self-love, being one with self, this idea that self-awareness, consciousness is all there is, and accepting that, releasing all what is not, that we each are in our own journeys from all this cultural, societal patterns and all of what we are aware of. Oh.
The other day, I was having a conversation with John Patrick Morgan, and
Mm,
and he has this, he has this declaration. He says, I don't waste myself." And
mm,
and I asked him, give me an example of not wasting self. And he made it very simple for everybody to understand. He said, like, it's very simple. Like, you have your kid beside you. He wants to he wants to have you be available there, be present there. Well, you have your mobile device in your palms, and you choose to scroll through the messages. Well, your kid waiting for you. He said it's just one simple choice of being available to what's possible in that moment of connection with your child. And how true is that? How true is I now see even forgiveness and love and everything as a natural outcome of you being present. It's not something that you need to do something for. It's something that's there. And it seeks only your availability.
mm.
It seeks only your presence. And the moment you are there in the moment, it 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 floods the love. It floods that forgiveness through you, to you, and to everything that that is available in that space that is created. It's such a beautiful, and I am truly enjoying creating those moments of presence. Gaby, what could be done in addition to being who we are to help people see life inside out?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing about John Patrick and his son and all the beautiful awareness of all there ever will be is the presence, which ties up with the beautiful question of what could be created as a possibility to help guide others. And what I feel is being present for them, because nor even them or anybody else is willing for being, in a literal sense, being with them, being with life. And it's quite extraordinary now for me as I choose as much as possible in every now moment to be, no matter whoever is, whatever the external is of our beautiful humanity, I am there for them fully. I love you so much. And they feel and they receive, they go like, how could you? You don't know me. I don't need to know you. I know who you are. I don't need to know all these masks. I know who you are and the glow in their being. I love you. And a hug and that moment that shifts not only him, but life itself, because life is happening through each of us and life is transformed and expanded forever. And may I share something with you? Like every Friday, this beautiful gentleman comes to drop the mail here at home, and I'm in the middle of creating my miracles here and possibilities. And he always sings. He always comes singing. And yesterday, for the first time, I created this space. I said, "Oh, this is the moment to be present with this fabulous soul. No matter what he's singing out loud, and he delivers the message, and I mean the packages and the mail." I ran out and I went behind him and asked, "May I create a space with and for you, for us in this moment?" And the glow in him, and as if he was ending his day, oh, saying like, I'm sweaty, or no, please. And it does not matter. It does not matter. Thank you for elevating our lives, your spirit of singing, and it brings joy, that music, to each one of us, and this to the beautiful families here. And we were in tears and laughter of appreciation of being present with each other. And it didn't matter what our backgrounds, whatever it was, but be in that moment appreciated and present with life. And that is sparking in him and in me. That is the best thing we could do and be for our humanity in this moment, especially in this moment that we all are, that bigger things are being called from us for our humanity to evolve, to literally be with our whole humanity, no matter what our background is, no matter who supposedly is, knowing that at the center we are love, and being with that. We danced, we laughed, and I love you because I do. I love you too. Such a beautiful music for me to receive from my literal brother in life, to be. That is what I choose to be. Is the most beautiful and perfect gift I can give back to life, my presence, my full presence, where we both receive our blessing, myself and the other being. Israel, like yesterday, he received his blessing from life, and I received my blessing of life, and I became even more courageous of asking this amazing gentleman to stop in his routine, and life has been expanded in that moment of openness, of trust, of hope that there is our humanity, our human spirit it's strong. There is hope. There is this vast love that is always available for us. Thank you.
Gaby, thank you so much for bringing your experiences, sharing your being, sharing your love, sharing your experiences, sharing your perspectives, sharing the truth that you are living each moment. Thank you so much for being with us and bringing alive this moment with the power of presence. And I was I was I was listening to Ivanla the other day, and I was watching one of her videos where she was talking to one of her clients, and she says, somebody was asking her, "I have so much going in my family, and this, pain, sharing her pain." And Ivanla shared, if each one of us just learned how to be with our family, the whole world would take care of itself. And how granted we take for the person standing next to us, forgetting that everyone who is coming to our life is a family. Everyone we talk to, everyone we meet, everyone we hear about has been created in our lives as a family, as part of our family. And the only thing that we can do for everyone that we come across in life, everyone that we intend to help, as you said, is be with them, be with them, be in the moment with them. I'm so happy we shared this sacred conversation. We shared such beautiful, loving moments of awareness of who we are, being in the moment. Love you, sister. Love you so
I love
much.
you. Wow. I love you with all of my heart. Thank you. I honor you for who you are. Thank you. Thank you so much for dancing and feeling life in this beautiful sacred dialogue, being present to our humanness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gaby. Thanks from all our viewers, and lots of love to you from India.
Oh, thank you, sacred brother. I'm receiving it with my whole being. What a joy. What a blessing. Thank you so much. And I love you, India. I love you.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Gaby.
I love you so much, brother.
I'm blessed to have you as my sister. Thank you so much.
Thank you.